morning. Welcome to our breakfast news live from AYOGEN online television from Ondo City. Here are the major headlines. On our local news this morning, don't set your house on fire over Tinubu. Body judge asks Akonde to withdraw book. Reps demand checkpoint removal from linking roads linking southeast to Lagos, Abuja. On our political news this morning, Anambra poll activated protest abduction of LP government candidate. On our business news, prices continue to soar as NBS says inflation dropped in November. On our sport news this morning, Man United versus Brighton postponed over COVID-19 outbreak. On our health news this morning, 5 children dead after wind lifts bouncy castle 32 feet into the air in Australia. On entertainment news this morning, drinking driving, British model Katie Price apologizes after being spared jail. I am Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther. Here are the full details. Don't set your house over fire. Tinubu, the judge asked Akonde to withdraw book. The former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George, has asked a former interim chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Chief BC Akonde, to withdraw his book, My Participation. In a text of press obtained by a correspondent on Thursday, George warned Akonde against causing trouble for himself because of the political ambition of Bola Tinubu, APC national leader. According to the PDP leader, the book written by Akonde is malicious and offensive to Yoruba elders, while describing the book as shameful and disappointing. George said Akonde must apologize to Yoruba elders publicly. He said Akonde must apologize openly to Yoruba elders. The attitude that he displayed is not acceptable in a civilized society. Is it his legacy to dishonor Yoruba elders? At his age, Akonde should not set his house on fire because Tinubu's ambition. I felt very bad as a Yoruba man and as a Nigerian. He was maligned Yoruba elders and highly respectable people in the country. He was busy giving kudos to Bola Tinubu. Baba Akonde is from Osun State and Tinubu is the only man that he could single out to praise. From the reaction to his book, you must have heard what Baba Adebanjo said. How are we going to be regarded by others? Is that the right thing to do? Baba Akonde should withdraw the book that he has authored. It is very shameful. He is older than me and I don't expect an elderly person to behave in that manner. He must apologize to those he has offended. Reps demand checkpoints removal from roads linking southeast to Lagos, Abuja. The House of Representatives has called on the Nigerian police force and other security agencies to remove the multiple checkpoints from the road linking the southeast geopolitical zone with Lagos and Abuja forthwith. At the plenary on Thursday, the House particularly said the removal is to facilitate free flow of traffic, relieve the pains and hardship of the motorists and other road users traveling to and from the southeast region, especially during this festive period. The House also asked the police and other agencies to immediately disband all checkpoints at the Head Bridge while mandating the Federal Road Safety Corps to deploy men and materials to ensure free flow of traffic between Asaba in Delta State and Onitsha in Anambra State. The lawmakers further urged the agencies to collaborate with one another in the discharge of their responsibilities and avoid dissipation of resources as exemplified by the multiple checkpoints on the roads, especially those leading to and from the southeast region. In addition, the Parliament directed the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing and the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency to remove all abandoned makeshift roadblocks used as checkpoints and debris from the roads as and highways to facilitate free flow of traffic on these roads. Furthermore, the House called on the FRSC to position ambulances at major intersections along the roads and highways, especially during this festive season, to provide first aid to accident victims and evacuate them to the hospital. These resolutions were sequel to the unanimous adoption of a motion moved by the lawmaker representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency in Anambra at the House Obina Chioka, titled Motion for the Disbandment on Multiple Security Checkpoints on Roads Leading to the Southeast Region. Regarding the Anambra poll in our political news this morning, activists protest abduction of LP governorship candidates. A human rights movement under the aegis of the Coalition of Concerned Civil Society Organization for Truth and Justice on Thursday protested against the inability of security agencies to offer a clue on the whereabouts of Obiora Agbasimalo, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the November 6, 2021 Anambra election. Furthermore, they gave the federal government and other security agencies a 7-day ultimatum to find Agbasimalo. Reported that Agbasimalo was abducted on Saturday, September 18, 2021, along with a security detail on his way from Ezifite to Azia in Ihala, local government area of Anambra State, while on his way for an election campaign. Since then, nothing has been heard of him. The convener of CCSO, Phil Roberts, during the protest said Obiora's disappearance had triggered the concerns of family members and friends. He said whether he is dead or alive, no one knows, and all these questions are begging for answers. Who kidnapped Obiora Agbasimalo and how was he kidnapped? Already family and friends are seeking Obiora's safety and his eventual release from his captors. We, as a matter of urgency, respectfully urging Mr. President to direct the Nigeria Police Force, the Department of State Services, and other relevant security agencies to get to the root of this matter, in the interest of the peace and stability of not just the Southeast region, but the nation at large. We therefore wish to state categorically that if in the next 7 days we do not start getting answers as to the whereabouts of our fellow compatriots, we will activate a process of civil disobedience by mobilizing Nigerians into the streets. According to him, the coalition had already sent a petition to the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, and other security agencies in the country to expedite action with a view to unravel the mystery. Roberts said that Nigeria must not continue to slide in the negative direction of chaos when people can no longer have the freedom of movement or association. On our business news this morning, prices continue to soar high as NBS says inflation dropped in November. The inflation rate in Nigeria fell to November 15 in 15.40% year-on-year, the lowest since December last year, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The NBS and its Consumer Price Index report on Wednesday said the inflation rate fell by 0.59% from 15.99% since October. The drop in headline inflation began in April when it fell to 18.12% from 18.17% in March. The NBS said on a month-on-month basis, the headline index increased by 1.08% in November, which is 0.10% higher than the rate in October. The percentage change in the average composite CPI for the 12-month period ending November 2021 over the average of the CPI for the previous 12-month period was 16.98%, showing 0.02% point from 16.96% recorded in October 2021, it said. It said urban inflation rate increased by 15.92% year-on-year in November from 15.47% in November 2020, while the rural inflation rate increased by 14.89% in November 2021 from 14.33% in November 2020. The rural index also rose by 1.04% in November compared to 0.95% in October. The NBS disclosed that composite food index rose by 17.21% in November 2020 compared to 18.30% in November 2020. It noted that the rise in the food index was driven by increases in prices of breads, cereals, fish, food products such as potatoes, yam, and other tuber oil and fat, milk, cheese, and eggs, and coffee, tea, and cocoa. A senior lecturer of economics at the Pan-Atlantic University, Dr. Olalekan Aworinde, said, when you talk about inflation, you mean the constant increase in the price of goods and services. Now, with this new CPI report, we have to look deeper at the composition of the inflation rate. These declining figures do not mean that prices of goods are not increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. This means that the rate at which the price increase in this year is not proportionate to the increase recorded last year. The managing director of Cowrie Asset Management Limited, Johnson Shuku, when we are seeing a declining inflation rate, it is positive. So we have reasons to say at least the situation is improving, but a double-digit inflation is still quite high. On our sport news this morning, Man United versus Brighton postponed over COVID-19 outbreak. Manchester United's weekend fixture against Brighton this weekend has been postponed, the Premier League announced on Thursday. Regarding Manchester United game on Saturday, the club continues to have the ongoing COVID-19 break within their squad, which has left them unable to field a team for the match at Old Trafford. The English top flight said in a statement a significant number of COVID-19 cases led to their game against Bradford FC being called off earlier this week, and today additional positive tests have been confirmed, says the AFP. On our health news this morning, Nassarawa, Ogun State, Lagos ranked top in COVID-19 vaccination, says the NPHCDA. The National Primary Health Care Development Agency has listed Nassarawa, Ogun, Jigawa, Oyo, and Kwara State as the top 5 performing states on the COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign in Nigeria. The NPHCDA disclosed this on its official Facebook page. The agency noted that the top 8 performing states have made great strides by retaining the position in the last 72 hours. Taraba, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Jigawa have taken a major leap by climbing with 19, 11, and 7 steps, respectively, since 29 November 2021. It said, the data shows that Osun, Ekiti, Lagos, Zamfara, Gombe retains the 6th to 10th position, followed by Kebbi, Delta, Cross River Plateau, Adamawa, Niger, FCT, Taraba, Bauchi, Benue, Kogi, Rivers, Katsina, and Ondo states. Others are Kano, Sokoto, Kaduna, Edo, Anambra, Enugu, Yobe, Borno, Imo, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and Ebonyi states. On our foreign news this morning, 5 children dead after wind lifted bouncy castle 32 feet into the air in Australia. Tasmania police said in a significant local wind event lifted the castle. Hong Kong, 5 children died in Australia on Thursday after wind lifted the bouncy castle they were in about 32 feet into the air. Local police said 9 children were in the castle at about 10 a.m. local time when it fell to the ground, Tasmania police said in a statement. The students at Ilkas Primary School have been celebrating the end of the school year, the statement said. On a day where the children were meant to be celebrating their last day at primary school, instead, we are all mourning their loss, Police Commissioner Darren Hine said. 2 girls and 2 boys were killed, police said in an initial statement. Another 5 children with serious injuries were rushed to the hospital, where 1 later died. Police said 3 children were still in serious conditions at about 1 a.m. local time. The students were in 5th and 6th grade, officials said. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison called the incident unthinkably heartbreaking. Young children on a fun day out together with the families, and it turns out to such horrific tragedy at this time of year. It just breaks your heart, Morrison said. Police said a significant local wind event caused the castle to lift about 10 meters or 32 feet off the ground. 2 helicopters and other emergency vehicles rushed to the scene and Devport within a minute of the incident, police said. The loss of any child impacts significantly on our community, and this tragedy is understandably distressing for us all, Hine said. This incident will impact all of us in different ways, so it's important that we all look after each other at this difficult time. Police said they've launched an investigation with help with Work Safe Tasmania, the country's workplace safety regulator. On entertainment news this morning, drink driving, British model Katie Price apologizes after being spared jail. British model Katie Price extended an open apology after being spared jail for flipping a car while drunk. She took to her Instagram page on Thursday to offer an apology for the incident after a trial at a United Kingdom magistrate court. I would like to thank my family, my children, my mom, dad, sister, brother, my partner Carl, Lay, and my friends who have supported me throughout this past few months. It's been a really difficult time and I'm incredibly sorry for my actions. I'm sincerely grateful nobody was hurt. I realized the damage my action could have caused not only to another family, but to my own as well. I'm now spending time getting better. Mental health is a healthy illness and can strike at any time. That triggers that cause my anxiety and behavior as something I'm trying to understand, come to my terms with, and learn to control moving forward. The 43-year-old wrote the statement a day after being handed a 16-week suspended sentence and 2-year ban at Crawley Magistrates Court. According to Daily Mail, Price escaped jail because she complied with a requirement to attend the Priory, a €6,800 a week rehab center. Price has committed her 9th motoring offense on September 28, 2021, when she flipped a car on its side at a country lane while drunk. And that'll be that on our breakfast news. We'll be right back. To stay with us shortly. Welcome back. We're still on our breakfast news this morning. Highlight of our major headlines. On our local news this morning, don't set your house on fire over Tinubu, but a judge asks Akande to withdraw book. Reps demand checkpoint removal from roads linking southeast to Lagos, Abuja. On our political news this morning, Anambra poll, activists protest abduction of LP governorship candidates. On our business news this morning, prices continue to soar high as NBS says inflation dropped in November. On our sport news this morning, Man United versus Brighton postponed over COVID-19 outbreak. On our out news this morning, 5 children dead after wind lifts bouncy castle 32 feet into the air in Australia. And lastly, on entertainment news this morning, drink driving, British model Katie Price apologizes after being spared jail. And that will be that on our breakfast news this morning. Do thank you for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel on AYOGEN Online Television. Follow us and like us on our page respectively on Facebook and Instagram. Do have a very wonderful day. I remain Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther. Have a very good day. Stay safe.